Hello, VQ, JDYS. How you doing? Hello, GHCH. Hello, Jix. How's everybody doing? Hello. How's everybody? How is it? Some comments were filtered to protect it. Wow, Netflix is failing in Europe. Huh. I wonder. I wonder why things are being filtered already. How's ever? Hello, Terry Kearney. Hello, Chad. Hello, Jack. So, did you guys see my most recent post? My response to Yuval? It was a lot of fun. I actually made that post a while ago. It's just the editing took forever because my editing software is kind of crappy. At first I was trying to do it on TikTok, but I couldn't. Put in like Yuval's content, not as much as I wanted to. So, I lost like an hour or two on that, and then resorting to just CapCut. There are a lot of limitations. It was very frustrating. But so I think I'm just gonna have to find some better editing software. Something that allows a lot of features. Like I wonder, maybe Yuval has the right software. I'll ask him if his feelings aren't too hurt from my posts. I wasn't trying to hurt his feelings. I actually took it very easy on him. I was very gentle in pointing out just wow how inaccurate and wildly wrong a lot of his stuff was. There was some good information, but he wasn't weighing both sides. It just yeah. It's interesting that someone who spreads that kind of information gets so many followers. Hey, Jess, how you doing? Hello, Y. Hello, FR. I'm not even trying to win over Yuval. Hi, hello, wonderful guys. If you're not following Jess at Financial Literacy, go. You should follow her. She's incredible. She taught me a lot of stuff just watching her posts. And I haven't seen your most recent posts in like a week because I've just been so busy, still transitioning everything over from like TikTok onto YouTube. Oh, I'm glad to help Jess, and thank you for Jess put me in her newsletter. That was really great. And so, guys, so for those of you who don't know, I'm okay now. TikTok a couple weeks ago cut my funding, and I was in panic mode. So I just tried to ramp up my Patreon, and people came through. I set up a tier 0 membership. So if you guys want to buy me a pack of gum a month, it's $1. Go right ahead. You could just click on my link tree that's on my profile and sign up for that. And if you can't sign up for Patreon, join my YouTube. Just click on my Instagram link. That's on my TikTok profile. Just click on the Instagram link and just subscribe to my YouTube. Someone blocked you for calling you. Okay, that's great, Jess. So, guys, Jess got blocked because you called she called someone out. That's freaking great. Then she's doing the right thing. Yeah, and I got back on the Creator Fund, but I don't want to rely on TikTok. I don't want to rely on TikTok. Like they almost pulled the rug from me. Though they did, and I'm glad I got it back. But guys, don't ask me what the Bitcoin top is, and don't spam me. If you spam me, I block you. But so now I'd rather just go onto YouTube. I have like 6,300 followers on YouTube now. Thank you guys so much. You shot me up like, I don't know, 3,300 followers. But I want to get at least 100,000 followers on YouTube. So, I definitely need the hours. I need an hours qualification. Like right now, I'm at 1,800 total watch hours on YouTube, and I need like 4,000 if I'm going to monetize. So if you guys could just, again, if you don't want to subscribe to Patreon, totally get it. But just go to my YouTube and watch a couple of my posts. So, okay, I just want to go back to the questions. Should you buy any meme coins? You're the smartest person. I don't touch meme coins. I don't touch them. Maybe you'll do well. I don't know. I don't touch Pepe. I don't touch Doge. The Bitcoin top, nobody knows, man. So I mean, the people I think who know a lot, they're saying 150,000, 200,000, but even those people have been wrong. I look like Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul after a fight. Hey, You know, if I look like a kind of good looking guy who's in really good shape and famous, thank you very much, Jess. What's the best crypto to invest in? It depends who you are. You know, join my Patreon. If you sign up for my Patreon, and I will start putting in more crypto content. You called her Kyla Scanlon girl out, and she blocked it. And also, oh, you know what's really nice? I can just mute people. Thank you for the ice cream, Jess. Hey, Matthew. My favorite music? It depends, man. Like right now, I'm loving Enya again. I've been loving Enya since I was like 12, and now that's my jam. I like Enya, you know. But I could always listen to some good classical and anything by Tom Waits. Tom Waits. Your clips, like, okay, just sign up for my Patreon, and I'll start posting some stuff. I did not see Rathbone get banned, but he deserved it because, you know, I mean, obviously. Why did TikTok take it from me? They didn't give me any warning. They didn't tell me why. They just said community guidelines violation. So screw that. You always forget about YouTube. You'll put it on repeat. Thank you. Keep posting. I will. I'm gonna stay with YouTube. You know, if you like long form content, I got a good amount of long form content. My most recent response to Yuval, when I was justifying the Electoral College, honestly, I'm really proud of that piece because, like, I mean, I just formed my case, but when I saw it all come together, I was like, oh my God, this is like one of the best dissertations on like the Electoral College I've ever seen. And Yuval just looked so horrible. He looked so clueless by the end of my video. And that wasn't even my goal, but it just happened. All right. Sign up for my $1 membership. $1 membership, and like, you know, like I write my thoughts, I write some blurbs. Your clips. Yeah, so the lowest membership is $1 a month. And like I also made some instructional stuff, not about purchasing. I'm never gonna tell anyone what they should buy. That's not my thing. But you know, I use an app, and I just showed people how to use the app to like look at the economy and like how to do basic metrics. But I'm gonna do much more detailed stuff. So if you're paying $5 a month, that stuff's free. But if you just want to buy that one video, it's like $5.50. Yeah, the one with the largest market cap. There you go, Jess. Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing. So guys, I bought Bitcoin. Well, I mean, I bought Bitcoin when it was at $3,000 back then, and then I sold it when it went to 8,000 because I'm like, oh my gosh, I doubled my money. But no. So I learned my lesson. So when Bitcoin was at like 16,000, 20,000, that's when I was buying frequently. So my average buy-in cost to Bitcoin is like 24, 25,000, you know, because I was buying it when everyone said crypto was dead. How will the Tyson Paul fight? I don't know. Have I heard about Oscoda in Michigan? Lots of information I should investigate. All right, I'll check it out, fans. Have I heard about Oscoda in Michigan? Lots of information I should investigate. All right, I'll check it out, fans. So for the market, we care about the bond market. We have bond vigilantes. I forgot what a bond vigilante means, but like I'm worried about the yield chasers. Where did I go to school? I don't talk about where I went to school. $1. Oh, yeah. Oh, great. I'm glad you're. Well, yeah. I don't like. Yeah, I figure. Look, if I can get like 2 or 3% of my followers to get to tier 0, I don't need to worry about income from TikTok ever. You know. And then if I could also get a YouTube membership, then yeah, then we're good. How volatile? Yeah, you've missed yours. As just videos lately been grieving on election. I wasn't grieving about the election, but the new president is a very geopolitical thing, and I did make a post out, Donald, about what we can expect with the Trump economy. Thank you, Jess. Yeah, it's a great trade. Yeah, yeah, 90K is crazy, but I'm not. I'll just say this: I haven't sold any Bitcoin yet. You know, thoughts on Doge? I got no thoughts on Doge. Don't ask me about meme coins. I don't touch meme coins. They sell bonds to battle fiscal policy. Yeah, exactly. They make yields rise. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Jess. Yeah, they find debt at higher prices. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. I mean, it just tell Jess, does it look like to you the big money is expecting a lot of inflation? My little one, all my girls are fever free. You remember? Let's see. Wheeling imagination. You remember talking yourself out of buying Bitcoin when it was 20? Yeah, exactly. Don't. The Department of Government Efficiency. God, I will. I'm going to take a look at Blue Sky. You're right. I should. Why not? If it's a potential revenue stream, Have I heard of the U.S. government to buy 1 million Bitcoin over the years? The U.S. government doesn't need to buy any Bitcoin. They can just seize the Bitcoin, because there's so much Bitcoin that's handled illegally that the U.S. government just seizes it. So what? I forget. We're holding on to tens of billions, if not $100 billion of just Bitcoin. So we get that for free. So Vanover, guys, tell me about Blue Sky. I've heard that it's another platform, but I'm on so many different platforms already now. I have an app that allows me to just send, if I make content on TikTok, I put that content and I just spread it everywhere. And but and Blue Sky won't fit on that. I can't put Blue Sky or anything else on that. I'm even trying to get on Clapper, but I don't have time to go from app to app to app. It's called Sprout Social. Sprout Social, Jess. It's 300 something a month, but it's worth it, because now, no matter what, I something's always out on Instagram, Threads, Twitter. Sell merch, Daniel. I am selling merch. I made a video on my Patreon where I just show people how to use an app that I use for looking at the economy. And I got two people bought it, so I sold it for $5.50. But anyone who's a member of my Patreon who just signs up for $5 a month, you get that for free. So if you just think about it, if I make 1 or 2 of those posts a month, it's cheaper to just be a $5 member. It is, Jess, but it's saving me a lot of time, and it's worth it. It really is. And there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that there's a lot more stuff I can access. I just haven't had time to. Hello, Fed. Hello, everyone. But it's for me. It's peace of mind. And again, it's the first month. This is the first month I've been using it, and I'm kind of happy with it. So I might get a second month. But what I want to do is I want to set up an LLC and just expense everything through that, and maybe pay whatever I need for my social media platform, pay everything through the small business. Having been on Twitter, you appreciate the vibes you feel. Oh man, okay, I gotta check it. I gotta check Blue Sky. You pay for the FT. What do you think of that paper? Sorry, let me just take a look, Daniel. Sell merch. I don't know what you mean. Oh, the Financial Times? Yeah, I use it. I read it. Dumb question. It's not a dumb question. The only dumb question is the one you already know the answer to. Remember that. If you already know the answer, yeah, it's a dumb question. Dumb question maybe, but can you explain what a hussar is and why it's important to me? Yeah, hussars were they started off as medieval Central European light cavalry, but as the centuries went on, they ended up becoming heavy cavalry, especially in Poland. They were the winged hussars. Those are the ones I really like, because it was these fully armored guys on their horses, but they had these poles that kind of curled around, and these poles had eagle feathers on them. And when the horse would charge, the feathers would emanate this noise like, "Ee." And the horses, that had those feathers on them, they were used to the noises. But when like the thousands of hussars would charge towards the enemy's horses weren't used to that sound. So when the hussars were charging, the other horses would go crazy and start neighing and throw their knights off, and then the hussars would just charge right through. And the reason why I like the hussars so much is because they saved all of Europe from the Ottoman invasion in 1683. The winged hussars did it under Jan Sobieski, one of the best kings of Poland, one of the best kings in Europe, one of the best leaders. And so there's that. I admire the hussars, even though I'm not Polish. And Geo just means the world. So I call myself the world hussar. What's pink paper? You do that. You have an LLC for any... Oh, that's it? Yeah. Okay. Good to know, Jess. Good to know I'm doing the same thing as a smart person. Kings are rarely good. Yeah, well, they're not moral, but you can say effective. They're effective kings. Hello, Joyce. A good person should never rule a country. You learned something you didn't know. Oh, yay. Well, if you want to learn a lot of stuff about our constitutional history, look up my post against Yuval with the Electoral College. So I made a post about a week or so ago just defending why the Electoral College exists, because it keeps us from, the mob rule of the popular vote, because very often the masses don't always know what's best. The masses used to think slavery was fine. You know what I mean? The masses used to think women shouldn't vote. The masses used to think indentured servitude was an acceptable thing, or that we didn't need unions or labor laws. So no, it's the masses are easily swayed. And, when we're getting all of that misinformation from those, Russia and other hostile entities, they're not trying to just sway the electoral vote. They're trying to sway the popular vote. They're trying to, brainwash the very easily influenced masses. So I like having an added layer of protection. And just remember, the most fascist regimes of all were elected by the masses. Well, 2026, no, I don't know, Laksh. I honestly, I think we have been seeing a red shift across this country. And I made a post about it a while ago, and I didn't want to say anything during election season because I just wanted to be wrong, and I wanted to keep Trump from office. The Electoral College is just the popular votes for swing states. What are you talking about? Yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about, man. The Electoral College is just... All right, so if we didn't have that, if we just had the popular vote, then the swing states would be New York, California, would just be the coasts. It would be the coastal town, the coastal cities, maybe 7 or 8 states that could hijack the entire country. And the other 42 states are just screwed because they don't have the numbers. The masses are generally uneducated. Unfortunately, Daniel, you're right. Yeah, it is. You're right, Jess. I agree. But you know what? Seriously, all we could do, Jess, with all of this is just work on ourselves, work on our relationships, work on how we view our relationships, work how we can improve ourselves and our relationships, focus on being a part of a community and building that community. And that is all we can do, and keeping yourself informed. What's the typical correlation between Bitcoin price and inflationary pressures? When money flows more freely, Bitcoin price goes up. That's how it goes. You're so happy with the Dutch democracy. We have 18 different parties. I wish we had something. We do. I wish we had more than just 2 parties, but I don't know how. The only thing that would give us a 2-party system would be something equivalent to a Great Depression. That's the only thing I could think of. I could be wrong. I may not be opening my imagination enough, but that's all I could put in my head right now. Bitcoin equals risk on. Exactly. That's why I bought it at the most risk off time. We have a 1-party system. You mean the wealthy? Do I know if the Electoral College ever adjusts as population change? You could Google. Yeah. Look at my most recent post with Yuval. In just think about this. In 1984, New York, Texas, and California all voted for Ronald Reagan. So New York was a conservative state. So when people get older, like as certain generations get older and die off, the new generation comes in, and the newer generation at the time, well, was like us and the people a little older than us. I guess you could call them like Gen Xers or maybe the early boomers. They were more liberal, and so New York became a blue state for the past 40 years. But that can all change. The Electoral College can all change. I hope I answered your question, Matthew. If I didn't, just ask again on Patreon, and I'll get to you. So, guys, I don't have time to respond to a lot of comments anymore, just because I'm on different platforms and I am getting more comments. So, if you want a comment to be seen by me and responded to by me, join my Patreon. $1 a month. $1 a month, and I will always respond to whatever you write. I go over it every day to make sure I answered everything anybody asked. So Patreon is a good line to me. The Empire always wins, and I don't know. I don't think the Empire wanted slaves to be free. I don't think the Empire wanted African Americans, to rise up in social power. I don't think the Empire wanted women to have the right to vote or for them to rise in social power. And look what happened. Yeah, because 100% of people in the 8 most populated states would vote the same way. Will, you're not good at math, but I am. I ran a simulation, which I made in my post about Yuval. If 51% of the top 10 states voted red and, 49% voted blue, that would outweigh all of the other 40 states if they voted blue for the majority, like 51%, and 49% voted red. That's what the population does. So you can't challenge, and you can challenge me like a 3-year-old can challenge me, but you don't have the math skills, kiddo. And by the way, thank you so much for the gift. Guys, if you want to send me a gift, that's great. But again, I get like a penny or less from it. So if you really want to give me a gift, go to my Patreon, sign up for $1 a month. You sign up for $1 a month, you get access to content I don't put on any other social media platform. I write my thoughts, I write whatever tweets, whatever information. I put that on my Patreon for only you guys to see. And I always respond to the comments. And if it's been a couple days, I'll always check. I'll be like, hey, did I answer all of you guys? Obama nearly put RFK Jr. Yeah. I think RFK Jr. has progressively gotten crazier. That's just what happens. Dudes get older, they start cognitively declining. That's it. It's not black or white, but generally the powerful always win. You need to be more specific. Better. Why put people down? What are you talking about, Ian? Oh, yeah. Because it's true. Yeah, because if someone, if someone just says something asinine and incorrect, and I just made a whole post showing the actual math behind it, I don't have patience for it, and if people don't like it, they can just get off my page. I don't need you. Scoreboard. What about Nanya? Hey, thank you very much, Dean. Yeah, he sued the government about the weed killer. Oh, Roundup. He has no medical training. There you go. Yeah, RFK is, that too. What is the best way to achieve financial security in this political climate? That depends what your situation is, I mean, the best way I've known is I do it in a boring way. At least I did. You work, you save as much as you can every week, automatically goes into a savings account, and then you live as Spartan as you can. Like I didn't take public transportation. I would walk to work. I brought my own lunch. I would eat just the cheapest possible food, just like beans and like basic beef, and just boil it all just to have the sustenance I needed. And just, and then I did that, and I was able to save like 4 or 5 months of rent in a savings account. It took a while. And then once I did that, I just started automatically funneling my paycheck into like other investment accounts, and then what that pretty much meant was that I was buying assets. Like, you don't buy things, you don't spend the bulk of your money on things that vanish or depreciate in value. I mean, okay, fine, rent. But like, I'm not going to buy myself nice clothes, or at least I wasn't going to buy myself nice clothes or nice shoes when I could invest in something that could, increase my money by 15% or 50%. That's what it is. That's the best way to become financially secure, is one, to have a lot of discipline. Don't get, discipline to save the money, discipline to not sell when you get scared, and develop as much knowledge as you can, and then just keep going with it until that knowledge turns into wisdom. About the reform, thank you very much. I'm glad you agree. How many admins have decreased defense spending base? Okay. So you're saying the food and the FDA, the food and the FDA do a good job? What are you talking about, Ian? Dems or reps, War Machine is well fed. Now that's true. RF Key had a brainworm. Hey, Intel guy, good to see you. Somebody thinks this crazy dude is mercury poisoning. Well, okay. How's the economy looking the next couple of years? I mean, if Trump's plans actually come to fruition, like if the tariffs actually do get implemented, along with the tax cuts, along with the massive deportation, the 10 million undocumented immigrants out of the labor force, the big money's expecting inflation. The big money that knows a lot more than us is expecting inflation for now. Yeah. Yeah. You're the one who needs money, so your math never meth. I don't need the money anymore. I actually got everything back. I just want people to sign up for my Patreon so I don't rely on TikTok. But, you don't have to. And, that's it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be on my page. Hey, guys, save money and put that in a savings account and eat cheese sandwich. There you go. But motorcycles, how do you begin investing? Start reading books on investing. Start reading books on money. Half of all the people in the top 10 states is only 30% of the vote. Yeah, I said compare that with all 40. And so what's half of all the people? So the other half of that top 10 people is 60% of the population. Crypto seems to be a topic. Yeah, I'm going to be talking more about it, but I'm never going to tell people what to buy. Like there's the stuff I use, but that doesn't mean you guys should. Ignorant fear is always to play a factor in the world economy. How much will? Yeah, you're right. You didn't expect a few demographics voting so contrarian to the interest deportations and abort. I did. The problem is, Daniel, is like I was expecting it. Like I kept telling people that Kamala doesn't have it in the bag. Don't rely that she's going to have it in the bag. And I heard so many people were so cocky. And I was like, no, she doesn't have it in the bag. She could easily lose. Yeah, well, no, because look, you know what it is? Both sides they get into an echo chamber. But the blue sides, the underdog, you're not supposed to get into an echo chamber. If you're the underdog, you get out of that echo chamber and you look at all the other chambers and you figure out what you need to start doing. And the Democrats failed. Crypto is the topic, but there's a wrong way to try. Yeah. If big money expects high inflation, that means rising home prices too, right? That's a possibility. But water, we don't know. What if the boomers start dying? What if the boomers just say, screw it, I want to live in a gated community, or, I don't want to have such a big house, and all of a sudden there's a housing glut? We don't know. And I think a lot of developers don't know that either. You didn't see the election results. Do you know? Good one, Joey. Daniel. Do you expect a minority woman to win? Yeah. Well, some people think that Condoleezza Rice could have won. Dems was the truest on it. Yeah, millions for... Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right, Daniel. Yeah, 100% of people in all 10 states would have to vote the same way, which was my point. No, Will, you're not mathing correctly again, William. Blackstone will buy the homes up. They only own about 1%, maybe even less of all the, like not just Blackstone, but private equity. They don't know as much as you think. People tend to age in the home. They raise their family, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Actually, no, that's not the trend I'm seeing. That's not the trend my friends are seeing. I know a lot of people. They're saying their parents, they're in their 60s, and even other people I know, they're in their 60s, and they're like, my house is too big. I just want to live in a smaller community, and they just leave it. What do I think of Cargill and other food companies? Jen Sikova, I don't know what Cargill is. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you. No, I said add the other 30%, Will. I thought it was BlackRock with all the residential. Yes, it's not just BlackRock. No, Blackstone. I'm sure BlackRock, but Blackstone. There's a difference. There's BlackRock and Blackstone. I know, but look up Blackstone. They have a lot too. Okay, massive agribusiness. Thanks. Interesting. You have to look into this. Oh, no problem, Otter. I'm glad. And guys, if you like these lives, I do YouTube lives too. So I do YouTube lives Monday and Wednesday for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I do a Patreon only subscribers live a half hour after. And I'm doing these lives from let's say, 6 to 7, I think, 6:15 to 7 o'clock, and then 7 to 7:30 EST. That's 4 to 4:30 PST. I have a lot of East Coast people, so I'm trying to time it with them. And that's another thing. If you subscribe to my Patreon for not tier 0, but if you do tier 1, that's like $5 a month. Then it's just me. It's like only you guys and me on the YouTube live. So I will get on Blue Sky. I will. Please get on Blue Sky. Oh, wow. Thank you, Teddy. All right, I'll do it. Kirsten Crumb. That's an interesting name. That reminds me of the John Candy movie, Who is Harry Crumb? But I will go to Blue Sky. Now, I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious about it. And also, guys, follow my YouTube. That's important. If you're going to follow me on TikTok, great. But go to my profile, click on my Instagram link, click on YouTube, follow me there, because I'm trying to migrate everyone over to YouTube, because I'm no longer happy with TT's policies. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hello, Monkey Laugh. Hello, Har. I'm pretty amazed. I can't believe I got 85 people on a Friday night. And it's not like a major upcoming event. Fridays are usually a little rougher. I will go to Blue Sky. It has changed so much. I don't remember much of what YouTube was like, but I'll take your word for it. But so far, I've gotten a great response, but I will go to Blue Sky. You can't use the mobile app anymore. Way too many apps. Are you talking about YouTube? Hello, Lennox. The ads. Yeah, YouTube ads are ridiculous. See, the thing is, I don't use YouTube a lot. I'm just trying to be on it a lot. It's okay, Daniel. That's fine. You don't have to apologize. Especially because this is a pretty slow live. Normally, during the weekdays, I'll have 200 people on consistently. So having only 87 or 84, it's actually it's easy. I can get to everybody. And I haven't paid too much attention to the news today. Am I moving investments to cash? Yeah, I've started accumulating. Now that I'm, back in the Creator Fund program, I'm trying to just accumulate cash. Cargill is the largest privately held. Okay, so what's going on with Cargill? What's the deal? Did I miss something with Cargill then? I'm just gonna screenshot this. So, what's the deal? Did I miss something with Cargill then? I'm just gonna screenshot this. So, yeah. And again, guys, sorry if I do back to Ian. Sorry if I do sound asinine. I am a bit tired. I've been just kind of burning the midnight oil for a while, just trying to succeeding in making long form content, trying to stay active on TikTok, but getting everything else together with all these other media platforms. So when I'm tired, I'm not as nice, and if someone's being like, if someone's just being ignorant and thinking that they have like a one up, I don't have patience for them. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate that. Thanks for saying that I'm authentic, But no, I do want to set a better example. I really do want to set a better example. And I could be pretty vicious. I don't want to be vicious to people, even if they might deserve it. Thank you, Benzi Wenzi. Guys, everyone thank Benzi Wenzi. He just subscribed to my YouTube. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. You heard a crazy conspiracy that the U.S. might invade Venezuela. No, we're not invading Venezuela. No, that would make Brazil extremely angry, and we're trying to be friendly with Brazil. No, we're not invading Venezuela. We don't need to invade Venezuela because our oil is so much better than theirs. Venezuela has more oil, but it's crap quality. Do I think the cabinet nominees might be a scam? Yeah, I think so, because I heard that there was a senator who heard about Matt Gaetz being recommended for the attorney general, and the senator felt he laughed so hard that he fell down. So it's like, is this just outrage farming? Yeah, Daniel, they're keyboard warriors, but someone of my stature, I should compose myself with more decorum. It's just hard to do that when I'm really tired. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, all ears, baby. I've also imbibed some delicious fermentation of grapes about an hour ago with my lovely wife. So that's another thing where I'm like, you suck. I know more than you. Might as well just be holding a bottle. You think you know anything, stupid kids? I used to have to walk 5 miles to school barefoot in the snow with wild bears chasing me, setting my hair on fire. So I'm just gonna try to be a bit more patient. Oh, I don't tell anybody where I live. I get death threats. You inhaled, unlike Clinton. Oh, it's funny. I have no tolerance for it. If I inhale, I'm just I literally just go like this, and I'm quiet. I'm very, very, very quiet. The first time I inhaled with my wife, over a decade ago, she thought I didn't like her anymore because I just became very quiet. Billy Gunn. Wait, Gen X joke. Wait, let me see. Yeah, exactly. Yoda best. Hey, I'm technically I'm Gen X. I'm 44. So I get you, Billy Gunn. Sam Brinton. That name should be more familiar to me, but it's not. Oh, I was on someone's podcast. Oh, there we go, Billy Gunn. Guy, I was on somebody's podcast today. It's going to air, I guess, in a couple days. The guy's name is Knowledge. He's a DJ, and he's on Instagram. And again, he's a DJ, but he has a podcast where he just talks about the world and, political events and a whole bunch of things. It's called Dangerous Knowledge, the Dangerous Knowledge podcast, I believe. And we talked for an hour, and it was so great. He's such a cool guy. We just talked. He asked about the feasibility of Trump's plans, and I just tried to be very polite as to what it would take for these plans to come to fruition, and it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. So I think a lot of what Trump is saying is, I'm hoping what Trump is saying is posturing, because even the wealthy people wouldn't make money. Even very deeply moneyed interests in this country would not make money if all of Trump's plans came to pass. I mean, one of Trump's things is he said he's going to build an Iron Dome like shield over the country, which is fine. But he said it was going to be only with American technology, and already he's like just so full of he's full of it like a giant sack of horse manure, for the sheer fact that we get the vast majority of our semiconductors from Taiwan. TSMC, they make the absolute best. We are a decade, maybe 2 decades behind TSMC. And then there's ASML. They designed the lithography machines that actually makes the semiconductors. That's Dutch. So that's just 2 countries right there we will absolutely need technology from. And I would not be surprised if we needed some technology from the Germans for like very sophisticated components. And then of course, the basic rare earth elements that we're going to need. We've prospected a lot of rare earth element sites in this country, but it'll be a long time before we can actually start like exploiting it, which means the greatest source of rare earths are going to be in China, maybe Vietnam. So there's no way that's happening. There's no way that's going to be true. We can absolutely build something like that, but it's not going to be all American made. You know, like there's just a lot of that. Like even if Trump says he's going to deport 10 million undocumented workers, so about 2.5 million farmers in this country, and about 1 million of them are undocumented migrants. So, all right, so you're just going to lose more than a third of your labor force very quickly. What do you think that's going to do to food prices? You know, Americans aren't going to flock to that job, even if you pay $15 to $20 an hour. I mean, the people who were working, you know, before, they'll get that nice raise. That's great, but they're not capable of doing the labor of 2 or 3 people. So yeah, like so just food's going to go rotten off the vine. Food prices will go up. You will absolutely pay more for food. And it's true. You're right, Daniel. Mexico won't accept them. But the thing is, don't make the mistake of thinking they're all from Mexico. They're from Mexico. They're from all over the South American continent. So the transport for that's very expensive. And then don't forget, there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands from Bangladesh, India, Afghanistan, China. We're going to send them all there. We have the money for that. Who stole luggage, bring a bell. Okay, what about it, Jared? After they get deported, I don't care about the gender identity. I just care about competence. Like, how well have they done their job? Like, what major failures in nuclear administration occurred? After they get deported, will be less mouths to feed. No, not enough for what those 10 million people. They're not paying. They weren't paying for that food. So there's nothing. There'll be less mouths to feed because the food they were supposed to be picking will just go rotten on the vine. The food won't be picked. So there will just be less food, but more mouths. And Scott Gregan, those illegal immigrants, they actually put more money. They probably feed your kids more than you feed theirs, because they pay local taxes, they pay state taxes, and almost everything they buy is locally made or locally sold. So their money goes completely into the American economy, unlike the very, very wealthy who you don't mind subsidizing. Holland, but they can't function without lenses from Germany. There you go. Boom, Jensikova. That's so cool. Maybe they shouldn't have been allowed in. But they're always going to be allowed in. You know, if you really, guys, like, I really want you to have some common sense. If this country really, if the wealthy and the powerful really didn't want illegal immigrants working here, they wouldn't close the border. You know what they would do? They would just start fining the factories and the businesses that employed these illegal workers. They would just fine the farms. Like, if you fine any business $1 million a day for employing illegal immigrants, guess what would happen? The illegal immigrants would leave because there'd be no work for them. Like, common sense. Again, 100% of people in those. Okay, well, you're gonna say the same thing. You're not making yourself look any better. DC, of course they pay taxes. They pay state and local taxes. Oh wait, unless you're talking about the wealthy. They don't know. They get less services from our government. Illegal immigrants hide. Like Marvin Moscoco. You don't know any illegal immigrants then. I've worked with dozens, maybe even 100, because I've worked all over this country as a cook. And most of the people I worked with were illegal immigrants. You know, I was a very poor guy at one point. Western countries, 100%. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and you know why? Do you know why our government is more willing to pay for immigrants? Like, or not even undocumented, but you know why our government is more willing to just be tolerant towards immigrants? Because immigrants have more kids, legal or illegal. Like, America is suffering a population crisis because, not me, I got 3 kids, so I'm doing my part. But every other American family that has 1 kid or less, or no kids, y'all screwing up. You're worth less to our government than an immigrant, because an immigrant will have at least 2 kids. They'll keep the population positive, or they'll have 3 or 4 and keep the population growing. So that's another reason why nobody talks about it. But an investment into immigrants in this country is an investment into the continued existence of America. You know, y'all people with no kids, just 1 kid, you're worthless. You're worthless to our government, especially if you're not making a lot of money. You know, I had 3 kids. My father had 4, and I want more kids. I want to have at least 1 more child. You know, so so just think about this. This is what the government sees. The government's like, okay, we get these immigrants. Okay, even if they're illegal, they're not going to get the vast majority of our services because they're scared and they don't want to get caught. But they are going to do work that's very valuable for less money than the average American worker. Okay, great. So it's more output for less input. The government's like, awesome. And then these immigrants, these hiding immigrants, are going to just buy and spend locally. And also, immigrants are 1.6 times more likely, even if they're illegal, to open up a business than a regular American. So the government's like, okay, and they're going to open up a business more likely than some, spoiled, entitled, lazy, unskilled American. And then they're going to have more kids. They're going to have more kids than these Americans who are like, oh, I was going to have kids, but it's just so hard. No, it's not. So yeah, the government's like, okay, also, you know what else immigrants are really good at? They focus on education. They focus on educating their children, just as much, if not more, than your average American. And your immigrant family is more likely to remain intact than an average American family. So the government's like, click, 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 click. They're doing everything right, and we have to put less inputs. Get them on that gravy train. You want kids, but you can't afford them. How come? But you do have some cool... Daniel, you're not worthless. Too old to get pregnant safely post-row. You're a nurse, so you know the risks. Oh, angst. I'm sorry. Hey, Mystic Goddess, how you doing? How's the U.S. population low? The birth rate is low, Cold War kid. Our birth rate is 1.67. The only reason why we have a growing population is because of immigrants. Exactly. Yes, the immigrants that come here, the last thing these immigrants are is lazy. Yeah, exactly. Those are the people. Those are what builds America. U.S. population will be over 400 million by 2040. That's fine. Who cares? We're almost the size of China, and they have 1.4 billion. Sorry, like 1.3 something billion. Immigrants work twice as hard, do it twice as well, and if you look after them, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because look, the immigrants that come here, if an immigrant, especially an illegal immigrant, if they came here, they risk their life and limb, went on a multi-month journey, endured all kinds of pain, all kinds of exhaustion. So these people have incredible stamina to come to the greatest country in the world, that provides the best opportunity in the world. And once they make it here, do you think, if they're capable of all this energy and sacrifice, do you really think they're going to come here and do nothing? No, they're going to come here and they're going to work their ass off, and they're going to build their family. They're going to build their village. Yeah, of course, immigrants commit less crime because they're scared. They don't want to get deported. Seriously, just instead of deporting the 10 million illegals, can we just deport 10 million useless effing Americans who think they're too good to do hard work? Rent and the cost of having a child. You live in California. Eh. It's the cost of having a child with the quality of life that you wish to enjoy. Plenty of poor folks in California are having kids. Same with Australia and New Zealand. Really, with the population, we already bring in 1 million people legally. Okay. Yeah, not enough. What state do I live in? In California, we can't pay any more taxes. I don't live in California. Guys, hold on. I'm just going to get myself another glass of water. Water. I've had these glasses for like 12 years. I got them, I don't know. I got them dirt cheap. You know, I haven't broken any. Oh, wait, no. I remember now. These are wedding gifts. They're wedding gifts. Alrighty. All right. Do I really think America is the greatest country in the world, or a tongue-in-cheek? No, I think America is the greatest country in the world. Only in America you could come here. Only in America you can come here with a shirt off your back, not speak the language. But in 10 years, if you work hard and work smart, you can own your own business. You could have a successful family. You could be employing a bunch of other people. Only in America. You know, this is being an influencer. This is my fourth attempt at starting new. My fourth attempt at doing something completely new. And I wouldn't have been able to do it anywhere else. Is it moral to bring kids into the planet? Jen Sikova, that's just, come on. Really, this is the most peaceful era that humanity has ever enjoyed. There were Jews conceiving children in the concentration camps, and when they got out, their kids survived. And I'm sorry, Jen Sikova, but like, you don't know what the world is, and you don't know what the world was if you think this planet is hellish. You just don't know. No, it isn't, Daniel. Not to this level. You know, there are other countries you could do that too. All right, great. Why do we have the highest immigrant rate? Really, why do we have the highest influx? You know, why is this the number one immigrant destination on the planet? You know, and you can do all that. You could do that in this country. And even though this country is, you know, has some prejudice, we are nowhere near as prejudiced as those other countries where someone who's native born can maybe do that. And it's actually easier to open up a business in this country than any of those other countries where it's maybe a little bit more possible. Like, one of the great things about having 345,000 followers is I get to talk to people from all over the world, including these nice places like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, France, Iceland, well, not Hungary, sorry, Czech Republic, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg. All right, no, they're not places you could just come with nothing and make everything. Yeah, exactly. Japan, absolutely. In other areas, you could argue America is one of the worst countries in the world. You know, here's the thing. No, overall, I still think we kick the crap out of every other country. But some of the things we have are horrible. And we shouldn't have these horrible things in the greatest country in the world. Like our prison system. Like, we have one of the highest incarceration rates. We have 2 million people in jail. Like, that's almost 1% of our, like 0.5% of our population. But we're the richest country in the world? I mean, holy cow. We have private prisons. What about the disparity between the rich and poor? Okay, great. So is it like that? Like, is the U.S. the country where there's the greatest? Excuse me. Sorry to burp. You know, show me other countries that have show me. I just want to know, do you think that this is the worst one? And I don't think we are the worst. I think there is too much disparity and it's growing. But it's not like America is the origin of wealth disparity, and it's not like we are the most wealth disparate country in the planet. It shouldn't be happening, but the reason why it is happening is one of the reasons is because Americans are kind of dumb and entitled, and they're too lazy to vote frequently. They're too lazy to become informed and active voters. That's why. The Tyson fight crashed. How will this affect the world? Oh, I don't know. We have the most important immigrants because anyone can be American. Oh man, Sarbanov, you're right. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Like you're an American. You came from Japan, you get your citizenship, you're an American. And Daniel, we screw up on foreign policy, absolutely. But again, here's the thing. We have the foreign policy that we do because we are the most powerful country in the world. And there has been no other country that was the greatest and most powerful, that was the most powerful country in the world that handled foreign policy better than us. What about the lack of access to health care for the average person in the United States? Yeah. We spend more per person on healthcare. Either we spend more per person on healthcare. Yeah, I think that's what it is. We spend the most per person on healthcare than any other country. The problem is it's incompetently administered. I'm not talking about the doctors or the hospitals. I'm talking about our insurance lobby. And that doesn't make us the worst country in the world, but it does make it a crime. I think it does make it a crime that it happens. And I think the insurance lobby should be taken down. But they're never going to be taken down as long as Americans only really rally up to vote for president. That's just the truth. If Americans only rally up every 4 years, you're going to keep having crap health care. You want to really make a difference? Vote locally. Vote for your governor. And vote congressionally. And then figure out figure out who the lobbies are. Figure out who in your district is being lobbied. Having kids is creating slaves for the system if chickens and lambs not... Jenskova, sorry, you don't know anything. You don't know anything about this, man. Canada has more immigrants per capita. Cool. Consider having a child but are concerned about the public education system in America. Okay. You're playing devil's advocate, but U.S. is the greatest if your ambition is to acquire wealth. Nah. This is the best country in the world if you want to leave where you are and come be a part of something else. As a foreigner, that's important. I get it, Daniel. Yeah, Jensukova, you're definitely not old. You're very young, and you're brainwashed into this negative thing. Just so you know, you are a victory for the system. Went to get your knees checked out and it was $500. That's with insurance. God damn it. I'm sorry. Oh, I cursed. Sorry about that, TikTok. Do y'all care about Palestine yet? Well, they're gonna, because I think Palestine, they're terrified that Trump's president. Like Netanyahu, no, not Netanyahu, but like Netanyahu's staff has said a Trump victory gives Israel an opportunity to spread its sovereignty into Gaza and the West Bank. And I was warning this for a while. Like, all those pro-Palestine people who were like, oh, Hamas, they're freedom fighters. All those people protesting in university, like, y'all lost so much support for Kamala Harris with that stupidity. Like, I personally know wealthy people who, like Jewish people, wealthy Jewish people who were going to vote for Biden. And then that happened. They saw when they started seeing people celebrating like the terror groups, they literally like, okay, I am donating. These people are wealthy. They're like, no, I'm donating to Trump. I couldn't believe it. I tried everything I could to convince them, but they were like, not if you let this trash be violent and do this threats. And like the pro-Palestine people, y'all sent so much Jewish money to Trump. You just did. You know? Like, oh, from the river to the sea. Yeah, no. Now Gaza is going to be called Glassa. Who knows? Israel might effing nuke it. Sorry, I'm just mad. I'm mad because I said on October 7th that terror group doomed all of Gaza. I said it. I was like, they doomed it. I said we were going to see tens of thousands dead, and that's exactly what happened. And it's a forever war. Like, Israel has never attacked this much for over a year. Over a year. Israel's just been attacking and attacking. And my question to those pro-Palestinian people who wanted justice, is it worth it? Is it worth it? They brought attention to the cause. Yeah. And Israel's been blowing it up. You know, are the 40,000 dead Palestinians worth it? The thousands of dead Palestinian children, is it worth it? The thousands of dead Lebanese people, is it worth it? The Syrians getting killed, is it worth it? The people in Iran who've probably gotten killed, is it worth it? And Israel's going to do it even more now with the Trump presidency. My question to y'all pro-Palestinians, was it worth it? Is it going to be worth it when you see the death toll of 100,000? Is it going to be worth it? No, it's not. You're right. The healthcare at the hospitals is pretty good. You're right. You're right, Yukon. You're actually a big American Western civilization. Ah, cool. Me too. Hamas is a legitimate expression of resistance to occupation. No. Hamas is a legitimate expression of we don't care how many of our own people we get killed. That's it. We will torture our own people. We will kill children just to show them on TV. That's the group you're talking about. Do I think boycotts work on a massive scale? Like if you do a massive scale, absolutely. It's already 100K deaths. Okay, yeah, it'll be more. Like, what kind of justification is that, Daniel? It's 100K deaths. Okay, there'll be more deaths. Will more deaths be worth it? You know, when Gaza is completely cleared of Palestinians, and I think it's going to be in the next 4 years, will it be worth it? You know, you think people are going to stay hating Israel? Like, maybe some of the Arabs will, but the Americans, no. Our memory span, Americans' memory span is so poor. You know, there's still a lot of Islamophobia. It's just very quiet. You know. And Daniel, you need to come on. The fault is Hamas. No, you know, if you want to go, oh, okay, it's not Hamas's fault for the October 7th attack. It's the Israeli occupation. So if you want to start going back in time, you know, oh, well, this horrible thing happened. What's the root cause? It wasn't Israel doing, okay, then you can't go to Israel doing that. You can go before. You can keep taking steps and steps before. And you could go all the way down to Proposition 181 in the United Nations with the two-state solution. With the two-state solution. All right, sorry, I just had to click something. All right, and the two-state solution was like, okay, fine. You know, there's Israel, there's Palestine. Here you go. Live in peace. And within, 24 hours, the Palestinian terror groups butchered 7 Israelis on a bus. And then the Israeli militants were like, okay, we're going to take the whole thing. That's what the Israeli militants wanted. That's what was it? Hagana Irgun. That's exactly what they wanted. They wanted Jews to get killed by the Palestinian terrorists. And once they did that, they launched the war. They launched the war to take the whole thing. All right? So the two-state solution was there. It would have happened. And then who butchered 7 Jews the day after Proposition 181? You know, and I'm not saying the Israelis are right. I think the Israelis have been horrendously excessive. They could have taken so many right ways out, but they didn't. So, but don't go and say, oh, it's not Hamas's fault. It's Israel's fault. No, okay, whoever orchestrated the October 7th attack, it's their fault. Whoever partook of the October 7th attack, it's their fault. Whoever dragged innocent girls from Israel into Palestine, into Gaza, that's their fault. whoever butchered their bodies, whoever killed children, that's their fault. And I don't care if you believe me or not. Am I okay with them taking all the land? If you want to have lasting peace, you can't take all the land. There has to be a two-state solution. Do you think the Iranian nuclear deal being canceled has a cause for increased hostility? Not really. So Mossad didn't know October 7th. Now, C4 Schmo, I can't even talk about that. I literally can't. Like, it's not like I can't talk about it because it's so hard. I literally can't talk about it. Yeah, October 7th was 100% justified. No, sorry, see you soon. Jamal, look, I don't care how I sound to you, man. You know, I just said what the Israelis did is horrendously excessive. It should have stopped. They had plenty of ways to go about this more peacefully, and they haven't. And now that Biden's gone, it's going to be even worse. It's going to be even worse. And my question to you guys, to all you pro-Palestinians, if 200,000 Palestinians get killed, if let's say 500,000 get killed, let's say all of Gaza is displaced, and let's say the West Bank starts getting completely bulldozed, let's say 500,000 Palestinians get completely dislocated out of the West Bank and just sent over to Jordan as refugees, will it have been worth it? Will it have been worth it? No, I'm not Jewish. Under international law, people are allowed to resist occupation. Absolutely. Absolutely. They absolutely are. And if you resist occupation through violent means, guess what the occupiers get to do as well? And if you come at me with a knife and I have a machine gun, guess what's going to happen to you? The Zionists were going to do that anyway. No, I think the Zionists were going to do it. I think the Zionists were going to do a slow bleed. But this just gave them carte blanche to do it quickly. I did say plenty of bad things. Of course I did. Why are you blaming the abused for the abuser? Okay, what do you think about the Dan Bilzerian interview with Piers Morgan? I didn't see it. You agree with me? Who started this? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like, here's the thing too. Are you guys, maybe you're familiar with Yasser Arafat? So I'm sure a lot of you maybe idealize Yasser Arafat because of the 90s. But I know about him from the 60s. And, you know, he was accepted into Jordan. And then you know what he tried to do when he was in Jordan with his Palestinian troops? He tried to kill the king of Jordan. He tried to occupy land in Jordan. They started kidnapping women in Jordan. He's a freaking monster. He was a brutal monster. And this isn't from Jewish sites. Like, this is written by Jordanians. All right? So, like, you guys, you don't, like, you think it's these, like, kind-hearted, like, soulful martyrs who are resisting occupation? No, it's brutal animals. It's brutal animals who's doing this, and they're doing brutal animal tactics. You know, and the people who suffer the most for it are innocent Palestinians, innocent Palestinian women, innocent Palestinian children, innocent Palestinian men, just innocent people are suffering from this, and also innocent Israelis. Like, of course, it's not like every Israeli is, trying to kill Palestinians. Yeah, exactly. You're right. They were thugs. Thank you, Samo. Thank you, Squirrel, for saying I'm on point. You're blaming the Palestinians for the actions of Israel killing kids. The actions of Israel killing kids. Yeah, okay, look. Okay, it's called common sense. If Israel has bombed entire cities and killed thousands of children before, and you launch a massive attack on those same people, what do you think the Israelis are going to do? Israel has a long history of very bloody retaliations. Why are you going to keep doing massive attacks like that? Why? If you know you're going to get your own people killed, why are you going to do it? Pro-monarchy? No, thank you. Step back from the Middle East? Yeah, that's actually, yeah. What do I think about Tulsi Gabbard being the Department of Security? That's a joke to me. Like, she went from being a Democrat who was used to torpedo Kamala Harris's bid in the 2016 run. She met with Assad, the butcher. And then she started saying pro-Russia, started showing pro-Russia leanings. And then switched parties and sided with a man who said he's going to suspend the Constitution on day one of his inauguration. That's who's going to be in charge of security. Great. Wonderful. All right. Oh, how are they allowed to resist by your standards? Oh, you know what? I'm not even saying that, you're allowed to resist this way. I'm just saying the consequences will come for you. You want to resist in a certain way, then you're gonna see horrendous consequences. And all the world is gonna do is watch and criticize somebody else. That's what. So, the world doesn't stop Israel. The UN hasn't stopped Israel. The only person keeping a leash on Israel was Biden, and now that's gone. What you're doing, Daniel, is you are going into this abstract. You're not going into the real world. And in the real world is, there are people who want to butcher you. There are people who want to, there are people in the IDF who want to butcher Palestinians. There are thousands, possibly, maybe more, who want to butcher Palestinians, and they want Palestinians to give them a reason to butcher them. That's just the truth. So there were thousands of Israelis. When this happened, they were like, yes. And they did it. They succeeded. That were part of that movement. They told me, yeah, there you go, Samo. Good life, get some productive citizens out of it all. Yeah. Bye, Wandering Anjali. What do you think of Congress getting a lot of terms? Do you mean, what do I think of Congress, having too many terms? Wandering, bye. Okay, good for you. Here's the thing. I want Palestine to be free too. That's the funny thing about the whole Palestine thing is, here, let me just see. Mike and Jake, I do think Bibi. Yeah, of course Bibi needs to step down. Bibi's a butcher. Bibi wanted this all to happen. Bibi is why Hamas is here. Bibi funded Hamas. Yeah, I don't think they should. Wandering Anjali. Sorry, I bet you saw one of my anti-Israel rants, and you were like, oh, this guy gets it. No, I get more than you do, Anjali. I've called Israel an apartheid state because what they do is apartheid. It's like, if you are not Jewish, you are not treated as citizen. You are denied the rights of an Israeli citizen if you are not Jewish. Right there. Israelis won't allow genetic testing. The thing is, whoever is unfollowing me because of my Palestine stance, I know both sides way too well. So yeah, I'm not on Hamas's side. I will never be on Hamas's side. I'm on the side of the innocent Palestinians who just want to live their lives. And you know who else I'm not on the side? I'm not on the side of anyone who see rockets launched towards Israel going, yay! I'm not on their side. I'm also not on the side of any Israeli seeing rockets launched from Israel to Gaza going, yay! I'm not on their side. Exactly, Marcelo Felipe. Gio Husser, you still got fake accounts. I know, I'm looking for them. For the first time, the occupation is extracting a huge cost on Israelis. The world is aware. No, the world's going to... Sorry. No, it isn't. The world wants to do business. What do you think of IPEC influence? Yeah, it affects both parties. It affects both parties, and I can't talk too much about it. That's how strong it is. Yeah, there are Arab Israelis, absolutely. There are Arab Israelis, but they are not considered Jewish. You wonder what would come out of the region if we just let them go at it hard. Israel would just destroy every single one of them. That's all Israel would do. Israel would just bomb and attack, destroy settlements, and they would just turn it into the Zionists would turn it into their mission. How can the Palestinians not know about the tunnels on October 7th? What do you, okay. How much longer will the Russia-Ukraine, oh God. Oh, the Russia-Ukraine war isn't going to bring down prices if Trump's tariffs happen. And Trump, the Russia-Ukraine war will still go on. Even if the Russia-Ukraine war ends, prices will still be high. I don't know about Pendleton, I'm sorry. They even have members of the parliament who are Arab and Muslim. Yeah, I know that. Sure, great. Of course it's an imperfect democracy. Also, you know what I consider apartheid about Israel as well is, I forget what it is. I think it's there's the UN minimum for drinking water for just water access per person per day is 100 liters a day. So the people in Gaza get just under that, maybe even less. So not Gaza, sorry. In the West Bank. So the Palestinians in the West Bank get less than the UN minimum, while the Jewish settlements have twice as much. They have pools, they have gardens, they have everything. And the Palestinians get less water. And when they try to store rainwater, the IDF destroys it. The IDF goes into the West Bank and the Palestinian areas, and they destroy the irrigation systems. Yeah. So, you guys think I'm all on Israel's side? No. I know way too much about both sides. Oh, I hope not. King of the O, developing the Gaza coastline. Israel is not disgusting. I've been there. Fascist? I mean, Bibi. Yeah. Yeah, I hate Bibi. But can you have apartheid while being under occupation? Well, Gaza isn't technically a part of Israel. Gaza was supposed to have its own government, so that's not apartheid, that's occupation. Thank you, Andrew. It's not just Bibi. Well, it's Bibi's staff, sure. I think Yitzhak Rabin, who really wanted peace and was willing to make concessions, I don't think that was fascist. After World War II, is Israel justified? You mean the Holocaust? I mean, look, they would have gotten a state in the two-state solution. That would have been fine. But the militants wanted it all. And the terrorists, the Arab terrorists, gave it to them. They gave them the opportunity, which is what they wanted. Is the West Bank apartheid, or do you mean within Israel? Within Israel. Do I think... No. I know too much about Rathbone. I know too much about him. Someone sent me all the information about him. So I know his name. I know where he is. I know a lot about him. Yeah. He's also tried to come at me, but I don't respond. If someone has a similar following count to me, or if they have less and they start trash talking, I don't even bother, because I'm not going to reward someone like that with my audience. But when someone like Yuval, who has 3 million followers, comes after me, I was like, oh my God, yes, absolutely. I was like, you just gave me an opportunity, baby. And my response to his response, oh, it was great. I don't like to toot my own horn too often, but I freaking grilled him. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It's my most recent post. You should look at it. You know, or you know who else? Cancel this one after me, and that was fun. You know, because I just said that he doesn't know anything about finance or economics. He has no idea what he's talking about, and so a few days later, after that, he was like, "Hey, man, I get things wrong all the time." He made a post about that. But then, like 2 weeks later, he got like really angry and made a post about it. And so I just rode the momentum off of it and made a post that got a couple million views. How much is real at stake for global supremacy regarding the success of Israel as a whole? I mean, Israel is a strategic ally in that region. They provide a lot of intel. They provide a lot of intel. They provide a lot of, you know, military access to the region. You know, it kind of is. It is a Western foothold. It is a Western foothold in that area. And so, how much is at stake? I mean, just think about this. Having Iran under our thumb up until the 70s was extremely crucial. We needed them for our tactical supremacy. And then Iran had the revolution and they kicked all of us out. They kicked so much military infrastructure of the US out. And that destabilized the US for a little bit, but that didn't remove the US from being the most powerful on the planet. It made things rough, but it didn't remove everything entirely. So I think that's it's a similar role that Israel plays. Being in charge. Yeah, I don't think RFK should be in charge of his own pants. How much longer will USA stay as a global superpower? I'll be long dead before something like that happens. Israel provides a lot of trouble for the West. They're doing it now. You're right. Geographically, yes. We need them in Jordan for weapon storage. Jordan, huh? Israel's destroying the liberal Western order. Why would we respect international law in the future? They are flouting it. Who's winning right now? I think to me it's a stalemate. You know, every time I'm reading that Russia's losing, Ukraine does something that's like completely unexpected. Like before Ukraine invaded Russia, like I was like, wow, it looks like Ukraine's on their last legs. And then boom, here we are. Yeah, RFK didn't sound so bad, but you hear him talk for a while and then you're like, oh, he's off his rocker. How do I think U.S. interest will change in the region if we go, oh yeah, the U.S. won't care as much about, you know, any of the oil producing regions, but I think they'll still care about Israel. All right. Guys, again, if you're not following me on YouTube, please subscribe. Go on over to my click on my profile here on TikTok, click on the Instagram link, and then click where it says YouTube. Subscribe. Take care, Daniel. Do I think Russia is a failed state? Yeah. RFK will be initiating Operation Delete. Hope so. China EV, US EVs are better. Take care, Daniel. Nice talking to you. And guys, also, if you really want to support me, hop onto my Patreon, sign up for Tier 0, buy me a pack of gum a month for $1, and you get access to content I don't put anywhere else on social media. You know, like stuff that I write or even posts. And I also respond to every single comment. So if you have something you want me to say, if you have something to say to me, I will always answer it if you're on my Patreon. India's economy is growing. Yeah. Will they ever reach at China's level? Yeah, I absolutely think so. Might take like 30, 40 years. Yeah, I will not debate. I'm not debating anyone on my Patreon. That's not a service to my people, you know? But yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot you will probably say where I can agree with you. Do I think shifting towards more nuclear would be better? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the cleanest energy. It's the easiest form of energy. Maybe in 2060, possible. What do I think of Chinese economic stimulus? Not enough. They're going through a worse population crisis than us. They don't have immigration anywhere near our levels. There's a shortage of women because of the idiotic one-child policy. they're going through a real estate bubble, a $23 trillion bubble of just local debt, and the size of their entire economy is 18 trillion. So just think about that. All that debt just gone. Then there's their federal debt. It's not as high as their local debt, but it's still effing high. That's youth unemployment was at an all-time high. They're going through deflation. That's like what happens during like depressions. No, I don't think we're cooked. I think, of course, the Tyson fight was a draw. I think if Trump's policies take effect, like the deportations and the tariffs, then we're in trouble. My thoughts on the government saying cars being all electric, but no, I think that's BS. Karamveer Gill, and no, I don't have an electric car. That's BS. Karamveer Gill, and no, I don't have an electric car. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Oh, thank you very much, lol. So thank you for this gift. But again, guys, if you really want to send me a gift, go to my Patreon, sign up for $1 a month, because I only get whatever. If you pay $1 to give me something, I get like a nickel. So just go to my Patreon, sign up for tier $0, $1 a month. All right, wonderful people. I'll see y'all later. And my next live will be Monday. Take care. $1 a month. All right, wonderful people. I'll see y'all later. And my next live will be Monday. Take care. $1 a month. All right, wonderful people. I'll see y'all later. And my next live will be Monday. Take care. $1 a month. All right, wonderful people. I'll see y'all later. And my next live will be Monday. Take care.